guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Rebecca Robeson with Kinwoven, and I'm here today with the second of our Christmas videos for this year. Yesterday, I showed you guys how to decorate the perfect Christmas tree. You gotta go see that one if you haven't seen it yet, because it is chocked full of so many great tips and ideas on ways that you can make an absolutely beautiful Christmas tree. Today, I'm gonna teach you how to do a DIY old book pages wreath. You may be saying, Rebecca, you already have an old book pages wreath video on YouTube. You're absolutely right. In fact, it's the second most watched video I've ever put up on YouTube. And having been here for 13 years, I'm here to tell you that's a lot of videos. So it's popular, but that's not the reason I'm redoing it. The reason I'm redoing it is because mine got damaged when I moved to Tulsa. So one of the few casualties of the move. Not only is this video one of the most watched, it's also one of the most duplicated. Over the years, so many of you, hundreds, every single Christmas, send me photos of the wreaths that you have made. Are those amazing or what? I mean, it means a lot to me when I take the time to create a video for you, a DIY, and show you how to do something, and then so many people do it. You guys, you've done a great job. And those of you who choose to do it this time, I want to see yours as well. There's one more thing that this video has been, like a front runner in, and that is, it is the most controversial video I have ever produced and put on YouTube. Why is that? Did you know that people are very serious about books? Especially old books. It's almost as though they were people. They think it's terrible that you would cut pages out of a book. And that was bad enough because the book I used was from 1882, I believe. But it was in Dutch and I couldn't read it. But you know what it was that I couldn't read? It was a Bible. I had no idea at the time that I was cutting up an old Dutch Bible. So to the Dutch community, I apologize profusely. Anyway, eventually it got destroyed. I wonder if there's anything behind that. All that to say, we're gonna do it today. And today, I'm gonna be sensitive and I'm not gonna cut pages out of a book. They've already been cut for me. Got you there. But I'm gonna use music pages. My girlfriend Sarah, she's the one who gave me the idea to use music as my theme this year. She bought some for me and had me sent. And look, someone else did the dirty. They ripped them out of the book. So send Sarah. Leave a comment for Sarah if you're offended. I hope you're not offended. All right, so here's the issue. Now, one of the things that I noticed when I looked at other people's wreaths is a lot of times when people use sheet music, it was this size, which means your cones are gonna be super, super long, which means you're gonna have a huge wreath. I don't want a huge wreath. I want the same size I had before because I loved it. I miss that thing, honestly. So I'm actually gonna cut these pages down. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fold it so I get a nice straight line. And you guys can be more precise and you can actually measure it if you want to. But that line gave me the size that I'm looking for. And I'm gonna just cut one to begin with. And I'm gonna see, does that give me the size of tube? Yeah, that looks to be about Bible-sized pages. Time to cut 120 of them. That's right, you only need 120 cones. See you in a bit. So for those of you who think I'm terrible for ripping book pages or music pages, this shouldn't even be around anyway. It says, I don't want to be your sweetheart. Well, that's not very Christmassy, is it? Okay. So here's what my measurement ended up being because I was eyeballing it. You're wondering why I'm using a tape measure like this. I have a plan, wait till you see. So this is 7 inches on the short distance and 9, just over, like 9¼ inches on the long side. Now, how do I cut you all down and not take all day? All 120 of you. Dorian, can you bring me my cutter? You're not likely to have one of these, but feel free to get one. Okay, everybody's gonna ask me. You know what, I'm just gonna let you leave a comment and ask me. I'm not telling you who this is by. Just kidding. It's called Rototrim. All right, so I'm going to take these guys and put them here. I want 7 inches. All right, ready? Bam. How cool is that? Ready? Oh, that's impressive stuff right there. Feel the home fires burning, baby, this drive. Can you imagine being able to play the piano like that? If you can play this song, first off, I bow down to you. And secondly, could you just make a little video of it and send it to me? All right, so I'm gonna show you how to start making the cones. Now, you're gonna need your tape dispenser, and this is a really cool one. It's got the regular Scotch tape and it has packing tape, both in one, and it's heavy duty. Now, here's what you do. Take your corner, take this corner, this finger stays here. This one rolls toward you in a cone shape like this, and you kind of tighten it as you go. And when you get to the end where this is completely inside, you've got a full cone shape, then you can use a piece of tape to tape this shut, and your cone will remain in place. All right, now the next step, I have 120 done, okay? Do you see that? The next step is to take your cones and add a staple to it. So there's a trick to this, there's a key, all right? This is going to be the point as each one of your cones go out on your wreath. So you find the center, and then you take your cone here and you line it up. And then down here at the end, you press it together about 1 inch into the cone. And for me, my staple is pretty far back, so I look for the edge of this and I staple down, and it puts it pretty much in the center, okay? And you go and do that to 120 cones. Now we're going to do the all-important step of making the base that these cones go on. You're going to need a piece of foam core. Now this is super thick. You don't need it this thick. I just happen to have this. And I know from doing this last time the size of the board that I need. So if you're doing cones the size mine are, this will work for you. If you're doing cones that are larger, you may want to create a bigger base. I'm gonna make a 12-inch by 12-inch square. I'm gonna go from here as well. 12 inches on this side. Don't pay any attention to him, that's my gardener. That's David, my gardener. Voila. I'd say that's a big. The next step is to get a pencil and create a center point. So if I take this ruler and I go from corner to corner and I create a soft pencil line, and I do it here as well. Right here is my center point. Now you want to create 2 circles in the center of your foam core. A dot in the very center, and from that dot you want an 8-inch circle and a 4-inch circle. Now, the last time I made this wreath, I had a protractor, which you stick in the middle, you pull it out, and you go like this, and you make a perfect circle. I can't find mine. So I'm gonna get creative and make my own protractor. I have a tape measure that has a little hole at the end, and I have a hat pin. So I'm gonna stick that in the dead center of my foam core. All right, if you want an 8-inch circle, then you need to get half of that amount. So you come out to 4 inches. Now I have an interesting tool. Funny I don't have a protractor, but I do have this. Hold on. This is actually a tool that you use to put holes in a belt buckle or a shoe, in the leather of your shoe. If I take this guy and I put him on the 4-inch mark and I press, I just created a hole in there at 4 inches. Then I also need a 4-inch circle, so I'm gonna make another hole at 2 inches. So I would say what I'm showing you here is sort of my philosophy on life, and that is make do with what you got. By keeping my pen here and putting my pencil in the 4-inch hole, I can go all the way around in a circle, all the way around. The reason these lines are important is you are going to glue your cones to these circles. You also have 4 different lines. You can call them 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9, because I did it on an angle, it's more like 1:30, 4:30, but going directly across from each other. All right, are you ready to, wait, there's one more thing. How are we gonna hang this thing? So the last time I made this wreath, if you ever go back and watch that video, you'll see I did not show you how to create a hanging mechanism. And I'm gonna do what I did last time. Take your pen right here at this point where the circle crosses the line and stick it through all the way to the back of your board. You see that? Then I'm going to put a little dot right there. Actually, take that out so I can get a dot right there. Okay, I'm going to do it again on the other side, right here, where the circle hits that, crosses over that line. Pull out my pen. I love these pens. They have the little pearls on them. You can get these at Shinoda if you're interested. You can probably get them online anywhere, actually. All right, now I have 2 defining marks to show me where to put my hangers. I got myself the tops off of a can of soda. I pulled the tops off and I'm gonna use those. They act almost as a D-ring. Does that make sense? Then I'm gonna hot glue these on to those dots right there and there, and then I'm gonna string wire in between. And when my wreath is done, it's ready to hang. All right, are you ready? Now becomes the fun part. You've done all the preparation work, and now it's time to make your wreath. Let's get started. Here's the idea. You take your end that's been stapled, and that's what's going to glue to your board. So we're going to start at the 4 points of contact. One here, and it's just hot glued down. Let those dry in place, and I'm going to push all of these kind of away so none of these are running into what I'm working on. Our first layer is done. So now we're going to move on to the second ring, the 4-inch circle in the middle. So here's where we are with the 8-inch ring and the 4-inch ring being filled up and the cones being glued in. Now I'm gonna make one more row of these all the way around, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use those other pieces of the music that I cut off. I measured it, and I've got about 5 1/4 inches by 7-inch pieces of music. And what it did was it created smaller cones, which I think are perfect. So now that I'm in the very center, coming into these smaller cones should be absolutely perfect. And it's just the other side of the paper that I cut off. Okay, here we go. This is the almost complete version of the wreath, but something's missing. Something really fabulous needs to go on the center. And I think I have just the thing. I'll be right back. All right, so the last time I made this wreath, I put a little tiny gold ornaments, balls, and I think I had some pearls in there, just little glitzy gold things in there. But I was thinking, you know what? What if I was to use some of my old jewelry? This is jewelry that I don't wear anymore. I put it all in this big basket because I didn't want to get rid of it. You know how things go in and out. And let's just see what's in here. Could do black and white and pearls. I could do something like this. All right, it's time to make a commitment. Well, there you have it. The old book pages wreath remade, reborn for this year. I had a blast doing it. I hope a lot of you will want to do this DIY and make one of these for your own home. So now you see what it looks like with the embellishments of the vintage jewelry that I had. And by the way, on the back, the old hanger, that's working pretty well, don't you think? Yeah. So let's go take it into where I plan to hang it this year and see what it looks like. Atop my vintage window that I had in my last house, and sitting in front of that is this amazing bar cart, a vintage bar cart that has this beautiful Christmas tree made for me by my neighbor, Cheryl, and it's all bejeweled in vintage jewelry. I think it turned out beautiful. I can't wait to see what you guys do. And I just want to say, listen, come back because we have more Christmas videos to upload this year. We have more DIYs. And of course, the fabulous reveal of my entire home where you get to see all these things put together in context as I walk you through. All right, you guys, I want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. And hey, send me a picture of this if you do it, okay? I can't wait to see it. I will see you guys next time. Merry Christmas. I did not show you how to create a hanging mechanism, and I'm going to do what I did last time. Is he weed whacking now?